the feeling in general of grief and loss as part of daily life is something that I carry with me long after I don't have to live in that. Because the way you live in the Middle East is like it's always your last day. Like you always leave knowing that something will happen tomorrow. It could be a war, an attack, maybe like a terror attack, stabbing, shooting in the street, your bus gets bombed, like something will happen and someone will die. It might be you, maybe your closest friend, your parents, your sibling, maybe all of you. Um, but you're just very aware of it since a very, very young age. And that's something that's hard to shake off when you're not under that risk anymore. Because you do know many people who died when you were a kid in the Middle East. You just do. Your classmates, maybe, if you're lucky enough, it's not a family member. But things happen that are very close. Like when I was in kindergarten, I was in a mall that, like, suffered a terror attack, and my nanny ran with me and saved my life. Um, when I cared about was like getting back to get my teddy bear, and my mom went back the day after everything was burned down, so no teddy bear. Or one day, like my mom went to the supermarket and she was all like, "Oh, there was like a guy in a hoodie," and I was like, I got so triggered. I thought it's gonna be like, a terror attack, but I'm fine. And like I got, back from the supermarket. And 5 minutes later, we opened the TV and the guy killed everybody in the supermarket. The guy that paid in the cashier next to my mom. And she just got out a second before it happened. And these things like that, might happen. Like it's really hard not to think like about it happening today, like going to the supermarket and saying, this is just a guy in a hoodie. It's fine. And this feeling of like, yeah, people are not just going to die every day of your life. And the version of yourself that lived there and was so tense and held all of this in its body, and kept the score of all of this, like we said, it's also hard to let it go, to be out of this survival mechanism, to not be so protective and so almost aggressive, almost like kind of pushing things away before they even hurt you, just in case, because you're so used to protecting yourself in such a high level that normal people don't do, that you already try to prevent anything that might hurt you. Um, because in the way I grew up, many things are going to hurt you. And it always feels like people are after you. Like someone wants to hurt you. You don't even know them, but just in the name of nationalities and race, they want to hurt you just because you're in a certain country at a certain time for no reason, not because of who you are. Like you just don't matter as a person. They're going to hurt you anyway. And this feeling of being abroad and knowing that my family is still there. And every time there's an attack, I will stay up all night and check the news to see like where the bomb fell, where the missile hit. Was it close to one of the neighborhoods where my family or friends live? Calling them in the morning, knowing that like maybe some of them lost their homes last night in another attack from one of the countries around, could be any of the seven. It's not even one specific war, it's just the situation there. So that's something that, again, I don't know if I will ever really shake off.
So that's what you lost.
I lost
That's part of you.
I lost many people, not even one specific person, and I lost the part of me that feels safe in the world because I never was. I was never born into safety. I was born into war and death and grief and terror. And I have people who still go through it every day, which means I don't get to be free of that, even though I ran away to save myself. Because they didn't, because they couldn't, they didn't have the visa and the power to do what I did, being a nomad around the whole world until I found a place. Not everybody can do that. And I don't blame them. That's harsh. Um, I get why they don't take this risk. Um, so it meant they just stayed behind and they lived through it. And then I'm never really free of it because I'm always worried about them. And I lost this part of me that could just, feel free and safe and protected, because that does not exist in my reality. So I think it's just like, you can call it loss, or you can just call it, a state of being.
The way you changed from being afraid all the time and now trying to get your safety. That's what
Because
you
we
say.
are born as babies, we are born without knowing any of that. We don't know what is war or a nationality or a passport. We don't care. We just want to be nurtured by our caregivers. We want to feel loved and cared for. And this is how we thrive into, healthy kids and healthy adults, right? Um, but the minute you're old enough in the Middle East to understand what is happening, you're not going to feel safe. It doesn't matter how great your family is or your home, or like, you're always at risk and you know it. And not only you, everybody you know and everybody you care might go to work and never come home every day. You also might go to school and never come home. Everybody might go. So you just fear that. And you know that the minute you reach 18, you're not just a free adult. You're going to go to the military and serve for 3 years. And many of your classmates, they will not make it out alive. So you just live with this fear all the time of like, this is my fate. This is what I was born into. So even though I got away from that and didn't stay in that, like, it's something like I carry with me, again, with the way I see the world, with my perspective of things, with the way I see day-to-day problems and how small they seem, compared to all of that.